What's going on, Nets fans? Just want to make like a quick update video. Probably not going to be the usual 20-minute video I do about the Nets. But anyway, the Nets won tonight against the Hawks 117-108. They've now won 3 games in a row. They are now 5-3 on the season, and they're actually in the top 8 in the Eastern Conference. So technically a playoff team. Look at that. So yeah, things are looking a lot better for this team. I feel much better than I did a week ago. I think they got their first win to start the streak last Friday, so it's almost a week. But anyway, yeah, they played the Pacers, they played the Pistons, and they just played Atlanta. And their offense is finally starting to look good. They're not getting out-rebounded like crazy anymore. The second-chance points aren't killing us like they once were. They're starting to look more like a team. And I did feel like eventually things would start to turn around. They're too talented to be that bad of a team. But, there's certain lineups they're putting together, and Steve Nash is even figuring some things out. But we'll go over some of the individual players tonight and how I thought they did. I mean, Kevin Durant tonight, 36 minutes, 32 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. He was great towards the end of the third quarter, went on like a mini run by himself. I mean, he's just phenomenal. So love what I saw from KD. Bruce Brown was even really good. He played 31 minutes, which was tied not second most, but he played 31 minutes, which is a lot, of course. Now, Bruce Brown, when he's in there, just makes such a difference. He always fills in the spot on the floor that nobody else will. His defensive intensity was there tonight. I feel like the lineups with Bruce Brown and DeAndre Bembry were awesome. We saw that lineup towards the end of the third quarter, and the Hawks turned the ball over 3 times in a row. Those guys on defense are so good with their hands and so good with playing the passing lanes. It felt like every time the Atlanta Hawks wanted to drive, Bembry and either Bruce Brown were getting their hand on the ball, and it was going the other way. So, I mean, you put those guys on defense. Of course, Kevin Durant, we know what he does on defense. The Nets will never be known for their defense, but if DeAndre Bembry can come in here and give this team 15 to 20 minutes a night of good defense and good energy and hustle, and you got Blake Griffin taking charges and playing good defense once again, you have Bruce Brown, of course, playing good defense. Patty Mills always gives 100%. Of course, James Harden, never going to be a great defender. Joe Harris, same thing. But still, the Nets have enough guys here where they're going to be fine defensively. And I've been a fan of Lamarcus Aldridge even on defense in the post. He's not going to be a perimeter defender. That's not what Lamarcus Aldridge is. But once again, Lamarcus Aldridge has done a good job of just, playing against opposing centers, and he had a shot block on Trae Young tonight where he blocked it and was able to catch the ball and throw it back in bounds before it went out of bounds. So even Lamarcus Aldridge, at 36, 37 years old, is making a difference defensively. Even a guy like Paul Millsap looks pretty spry right now. Paul Millsap at some points this year didn't look that great, but Paul Millsap had an awesome play tonight actually where he did a spin move on somebody near the block, got caught under the basket with 2 guys around him, then did this crazy hook pass behind his back to Patty Mills, who caught it one-handed and then knocked down a 3-pointer. So there was some nice highlight plays from this game. We saw the alley-oop to Bruce Brown from James Harden on the 2-on-1 break. Kevin Durant had a really cool dunk where he went up one-handed, kind of lost control, and somehow was able to two-hand it and get it in the air at the same time. It made no sense. It's just Kevin Durant's crazy. Blake Griffin, I wasn't crazy about his shooting night. He finally made a 3-pointer off a James Harden assist. I remember that play. But, yeah, Blake Griffin's just still not shooting the ball well. Hopefully at some point it starts to turn around. But if he was making his shots, this would have been a bigger win, honestly. So Blake Griffin, hopefully at some point, will find that groove. James Harden tonight was not, fantastic. He was fine. Had some turnovers I didn't like, but the assists were definitely there. He only had 3 points or 1 field goal, I believe, in the first half. I think they were saying on the broadcast, James Harden was in danger of not having a field goal made in the first half of a game with at least 10 minutes played for the first time since 2010. And he made a 3-pointer with 3 seconds left in the first half. So he just got that. He finished the game with 16 points, so it wasn't the worst performance. Had 4 rebounds, 11 assists. So it wasn't a good James Harden game, but Harden's been looking good the past 2 games before this, the Pistons one and the Pacers one, looking like more vintage James Harden. Harden had a 4-point play in this game, by the way, so he's looking better. I'm not overly concerned. Will Harden ever have that same burst that he used to back in Houston? Maybe not, but I'm still fine with James Harden being 90% of the player he once was. It's still fine with me. Even Joe Harris was fine tonight. Joe Harris had, 1 turnover where he put the ball on the ground with his left hand and someone plucked it, I think DeAndre Hunter, but Still, it wasn't really that bad of a game for Joe Harris. He was knocking down his shots, especially in the first half. So Joe Harris was doing his thing, and Joe Harris was actually really physical on the boards. Like, he had a one rebound play where he just stole the ball from somebody, was able to keep his feet in and threw it back to somebody on the nets. I mean, Joe Harris had he was just noticeably more aggressive in this game. So if Joe Harris can keep that up, I'll be satisfied. Patty Mills, I felt like he didn't miss tonight. I mean, he had like a couple misses maybe, but like Patty Mills had a really on game from what I saw. Lamarcus Aldridge was hitting his shots. He only had 10 points, but Lamarcus Aldridge, I felt like scored 10 in a row at one point. He made a 3-pointer. I think they said it was his first 3-pointer of the year, but made a nice shot when he first came in. He was like, backing someone down near the foul line and had like this line drive shot that somehow swished. I mean, Lamarcus Aldridge has been such a great shooter for this team, and I talked about his post defense. He brings something that this team does not have right now. Of course, with Nick Claxton out, you need like that big post presence, and right now Lamarcus Aldridge is doing a great job. So if he can stay healthy and keep it up, I will definitely be satisfied. Javon Carter played 6 minutes, I think, all in the first half. He didn't look that good. I mean, Javon Carter, I kind of feel bad for him, but he did have 4 rebounds in 6 minutes. Not too bad. But I talked about Paul Millsap. He was good. DeAndre Bembry, I love what he brings. He played 15 minutes tonight. We see Bembry run on like the fast breaks even. Like, he had some really cool layups. He had one last game where I don't know how he did it. It was like a Michael Jordan type play. Not to say that Bembry's Michael Jordan, but like he just palmed the ball, did like an underneath, and was able to put some nice English on it and get it off, spinning off the backboard the right way. Like, Bembry's like, I don't know, been really good for this team. Like, I'm not going to act like he's been the sixth man of the year, but like Bembry's been a really nice low-key pickup that I don't think many people were expecting much from, but he's been a pretty important piece to this team so far, and I think he'll carve out a role. Like, I know it's kind of weird seeing number 95 out there have a role for this team, but Bembry's been really good, so I'm happy with him so far, and I'm hoping that he will keep that up. Let's look at some of the game stats. The Nets shot 45% from 3 as a team. Love that. They were 9 for 12 from the line. Shot 48% from the field. Total rebounds, we got out-rebounded by 10. It didn't feel like it, but the Nets got out-rebounded by 10. They still found a way to win this game. The Nets had a lot more assists. The Nets had 8 blocks compared to their 4. The Nets had 1 less steal. 14 turnovers. Atlanta also had 14. So 14 turnovers is not that bad. I can live with it. I've seen worse from this Nets team. So 14 is not a great number, but it's also not going to kill you either. Points in the paint wasn't the best. I mean, Atlanta had 48. We had 28, but the Nets were knocking down their threes, as I mentioned, shooting 45% as a team. So that's all right. I mean, you can live with that if you're making your threes. But, I mean, I wasn't really too there weren't many negatives with this game. I mean, Blake Griffin's shooting has to get better. What else? I mean, that's pretty much Javon Carter. I mean, obviously, but not many negatives from this game, honestly. So I'm pretty satisfied. We have a schedule here coming up on the road. So this was the longest Nets homestand of this year. They played like 6 straight home games once again. Now they go on the road for 6 games in a row. They don't play a home game until November 16th against the Golden State Warriors. So their road schedule is Friday at Detroit, Sunday at the Raptors. We're always going to lose a Sunday afternoon game. I'm telling you, we don't win in Toronto and we don't win afternoon games on Sunday. I'm already chalking that up as a loss. They play the Bulls on the road. They've been a good team on Monday, so that's a back-to-back. I hate that. Maybe we see like Durant and Harden sit on that Sunday night game, or not Sunday night, but that Sunday game against Toronto. We'll see. I don't think Toronto's that good this year, are they? Like, I don't know what their record is. I don't think Toronto's that good. Anyway, of course I lost where I was. So they play the Bulls, then they play the Magic on the road, not the worst matchup on a Wednesday night. Then they play the Pelicans. I mean, I don't know if Zion's going to be back by then. I know Ingram's been out for a little bit, but he should be back by then. And then they play the Thunder on another Sunday, 2 Sundays from now, and then they come back on home on a Tuesday. So, yeah, I mean, this road trip is not daunting. It's not the worst. I mean, the Pistons aren't that bad of a matchup. The Raptors aren't that bad. The Bulls have been a good team, of course. The Magic I'm fine with. The Pelicans I'm fine with. The Thunder. Like, I feel like 5 out of those 6 games are very winnable. And, of course, the Nets can beat anybody. We know that. So, I'm not going to say they're going to go 6-0, but I think 4-2 on this road trip is a very reasonable, expectations. So we'll see what happens. But, it's going to be a nice task for these guys. And I kind of like these early road trips and kind of let these guys get closer. Obviously, when you're playing home games, you kind of just go back to your own apartment or home, and it's just like, you're kind of isolated. But when you're on road trips together in the same hotel, I feel like guys are more, connected with each other. So I'm kind of fine with this, long road trip, and they'll be out for 2 weeks basically. So maybe this will be a good thing for this Nets team. So I'm fine with that. Anyway, been satisfied the past few games. I'm feeling good. There's this rumor going on that the vaccine mandate could be lifted on January 1st in New York. So could be good news for Kyrie Irving. We'll see. I'm not going to speculate too much about that, but just a rumor I saw. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know when my next Nets update video will be, but I'll do it soon, probably 3 or 4 games down the line. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys next time.